Kanu's brother is saying the Yorubas are against the Igbo. Are you supporting?
Exactly. In fact, I made mention it in court. It's like the Yoruba nation and the Igbo nation are at war with each other. If you look at what is happening, you look at a government that will engage terrorists, the original terrorists that have killed before, and they say that they are now repentant. I mean, terrorists that will come out in broad daylight and claim responsibility for deaths, and they say they have forgiven them. Now, to worsen the whole thing, they say they have rehabilitated them and poured them into the Nigerian military. And how can the insecurity stop? Now, Nnamdi Kanu, go and listen to all the broadcasts of Nnamdi Kanu from 2014 till now. Everything that young man said is happening now. It's like they have a pre-information of what is going to happen, and they were just giving it out. Now, what is the charges, the terrorism charges that are carrying out against Nnamdi Kanu? Kanu told people, number one, during the NSAS, when the militaries were shooting at people at a toll gate, he said, defend yourself. He is not the first person that has said something like that. So the terrorism, he is a terrorist because he said, people, if the militaries are shooting at you, find a way and defend yourself and kill them too. That is the basis of the terrorism. Now, but people that have carried out terrorism, killed, okay, like the general that was killed, somebody have taken responsibility. IPOB have never taken responsibility for any crime. In fact, what they keep saying is that we are not responsible. Nigerian security, do your job. In fact, they went as far as, in order to blackmail IPOB, did you know that the federal government engaged a Muslim jihadist in the person of Igbo to go and guide Southeast? Did you know that the federal they broke a jail in Imo State, carried all the criminals, handed them over to Igbo? He recruited them and poured them in Imo State. Did you know that the Bubago outfit is the outfit that the federal government used to carry out jihad in Imo State? And now what they were doing is that when they caged the media in Imo State, because when I confronted the media, why don't you report what is happening? They said they are caged, that they will only wait until the police release their report. It is based on the police report that they will write their own report. They caged it. They will perpetrate this act. The next thing you will hear is IPOB. Now, who are these IPOB? You say IPOB. IPOB say it is not us. Why don't you take time and investigate? It never happened. Do you know that in the East today, if anybody killed, they don't carry out investigation? So all they did is to do that to set Nnamdi Kanu up to kill him. Let me tell you, Nnamdi Kanu is the only one man after Otuku that Igbos are rallying around, have seen as a leader. So they don't want that to happen. And well, we don't know what they plan to do, but we are watching. We know what they want to do.
What would you mean about
I mean, anybody in Mazin Nnamdi Kanu's shoes will have that outpost.
Come on, your mic, I do like.
Of course he is. I mean, what else can he do? What else can he say? If he is not allowed to exercise his fundamental human right, what else? You try to protest in the best way or in any way you can. I mean, I've witnessed these proceedings on 2 occasions, and I am so disappointed. And in fact, Nigeria should arrive, because I think we are at war with the judiciary. Not just Nnamdi Kanu's case. If you look at the judgments and counter-judgments of the judiciary, I mean, it's alarming. It's destroying this country. Remember.
But let me put it. The judge is saying that some of these issues that Nnamdi Kanu has been raised in the past and has been addressed. The judge is saying that Nnamdi Kanu was given ample time to defend, which is declined severally. That is the position of the judge. What do you make of this?
Now, the point is that not that he declined. He opened his defense by cross-examining the witnesses. But what he's saying is that he has nothing to defend, because even the law at which they are trying him does not exist. That they are trying him on a repealed law. So there's nothing to defend there. Not that, I mean, in cases where he has to do something in terms of defending himself, like cross-examining the witnesses, he did. But when you now ask somebody to defend something that does not exist, he will tell you that there is nothing to defend there. I think that is the message Nnamdi Kanu is trying to pass. The point is that for the judiciary, they felt they have a right as a judge because the final say lies on the table of the judge. So you can say whatever you like. That's what is happening now, and that is what we've been witnessing in this country for some time now. Okay, the judges are abusing their rights. The judiciary is abusing the law itself. You can't make a law and go against your law. Now, you use one judgment for a particular person and use another. You are messing the judicial system. So that's what Nnamdi Kanu is protesting, because it's like he is helpless. So the only thing he can, what he's saying, allow me move my final address. That it is his right. That's the outburst. Because when they say there's an outburst, what is the outburst? The outburst is that, allow me, it is my fundamental human right. It is my fundamental human right that I move my final address. That is the outburst. And the judge is saying no. Now, what Nnamdi Kanu is trying to say is that the fact that you are a judge does not give you the right to go against the law that puts you there. The judges, even though you are a judge and in any court you sit, you have the final say. But something gave you the power to have that final say. You cannot go against the law that gave you the power to sit in the court and pass judgment. So that's the outburst. That's what Nnamdi Kanu is challenging, right?
Thank you so much. Your name, ma?
My name is Lolo Nneka Chimeze. I'm the president of Igbo Women Assembly.
Thank you.
What Nnamdi Kanu is facing is persecution and prosecution. He has said this repeatedly. You cannot try a man without a written law. He has only simply asked the judge and the prosecution team to provide him with that section of the law that says you can try him. You cannot try a man under a repealed law. That would not work. It looks as if there is a grand conspiracy to jail man. How can you jail a man who has done nothing? How can you jail a man that don't have any evidence to present before the court? It's a conspiracy. It looks as if there is a war between Igbos and Yorubas. Bear in mind that this very problem was inherited by President Nnamdi Kanu. They shouldn't make us look as if we're unapproachable. I reserve so many things, but the days in which to come by will determine the direction we have to follow. But I want to make this clear to each and every one of you. Nnamdi Kanu is not a terrorist, and they have done nothing to prove that he's a terrorist. Since 2016, this case began. From pillar to post, this same very situation was up with my parents. In 2017, they could not survive the trauma of Operation Attendance. What is he asking for? Justice and equity. That's all he stands for. It's not against anybody in particular. Master Nnamdi Kanu has come to court today to make it clear to the court that he has told the judge that he has no constitutional power to try him. I've been issued the court lacks conviction. Even from the Supreme Court, they made a mess of this case by remitting the same case back to Federal High Court. That is called double jeopardy law. You cannot try a man who has been discharged and still refer the same case back to back to Federal High Court. What for? If they had brought in new charges, perhaps we understand.
But how would you explain the outburst in court?
It's a natural thing to happen because Omotosho is not willing to listen, is not willing to obey the Constitution, is not willing to obey the Supreme Court orders. So what is Master Nnamdi Kanu doing in court in the first place?
But you and I know that Justice Omotosho has given Nnamdi Kanu several periods to open his defense. And today he's opening his defense.
No, he did not. He came today for ruling. And you know, let me make this clear to you. By cross-examining those witnesses that came to court, he has opened his defense. So Master Nnamdi Kanu should be allowed to go for his final written address. And the very judge does not want to allow him to do that. In the interest of fairness, he should allow him to do so. He said he's proceeding to go and rule. That's what he said today.
But the judge said that in other proceedings that happened before, Nnamdi Kanu said the same thing. This is former lawyer. And he's still saying the same thing. That is the ruling of the judge.
But Master Nnamdi has the final right for his written address. Is that correct?
But this I don't want to be confrontational.
Yeah.
But this same issue has been raised in the past. And it was dismissed.
And when you have had the issue in court of law, what do you do? What do you do? They phrase the issue the way they want to phrase it. If they are to go by the constitution of this country, Master Nnamdi Kanu wouldn't even be in jail in the first place. That you need to understand. I think you and I have followed this case from the beginning up until now. Tell me one single evidence to convict Master Nnamdi Kanu. Everything is based on hearsay. Nnamdi Kanu made a broadcast in London which was monitored in Nigeria. Specific place they cannot identify it. Then they moved from that charge and said he made broadcasts somewhere around the world. Where is it in the world which was murdered in Nigeria? They couldn't establish that. Now, a few days ago, the prosecution came back and said, oh, you made a broadcast in Nigeria. Where is it made exactly? You must have to tell the court. But they are unable to provide all these information because they don't have any. Also bear in mind that the witnesses they showcase in court, they are missionaries. They are missionaries. And that is why we have filed for perjury today at the magistrate court in Wussein. So for how long would this evil keep going? Though everywhere in Nigeria, people are dying. Terrorists are killing people. Did Nnamdi Kanu kill anyone? The answer is no. So what is he doing in detention? It's an act of evil. Attack against Nnamdi Kanu is an attack against the Igbos and innocent people of this country. Those who believe in fairness and equity should rise up now, not tomorrow. Attack against it.
Igbo ekele m ụnụ ọlọlọ Nneka Chimezie na ikwe na-ewetara ụlọ ọnọdụ Igbo ebe anyị na ugbu a bụ na High Court Abuja oge m bịa n'ụtụtụ agwa m na anyị abịago ka anyị mara ka ọ ga-esi ada and anyị apụtago n'ime High Court ebe Maazị Nnamdi Kanu were iwe ba mba wee pụọ gịnị ka o ji na-ewe iwe ọ sị na ya chọrọ imove his final address Justice Omotosho ekweghị ka o move that final address after emechara ihe niile ha ekweghị ka o move that final address so ya wee were iwe ba mba na nnukwu olu gịnị ka ọ na-aba mba ọ sị na his fundamental human rights ekwe ya now enwere ihe m chọrọ ka Igbo anyị mata because ọnọdụ ka the Igbo nation and the Yoruba nation ọ na-atụ I was surprised mgbe a gụsị ndị lawyer niile na-represent the federal government ha ncha bụ ndị Yoruba the judge bụ onye Yoruba unu mana chief justice of this country bụ onye Yoruba attorney general bụ onye Yoruba onye isi ndị DSS bụ onye Yoruba onye isi ndị police bụ onye Yoruba so anyị wee na-eche ihe a continuation of Awolowo's agenda unu mana na during the war na Awolowo used war as a form of warfare. He said all is fair in war. You know, so they use hunger as a weapon of war, where we lost almost 3 million children. You will also remember now after the war, when Igbos were ravaged, that Awolowo made a policy to give every Igbo man, no matter going in na bank, 2 naira. He made that law. Remember, people that just came out of a war, that the whole world besieged them. Awolowo, in order to finish them up. So I think that there is a jihad plan from beginning. Now, what caused the war? Some soldiers feeling Awolowo on anger for treason. Then Hame coup to bring him out. Then when the coup failed, they turned into Igbo coup, a coup where all the parts of Nigerians participated. Was they turned it an Igbo coup, and 30,000 Igbo people, 30,000 armless Igbos. Now, do you know what happened? Do you know that pregnant women are about half for? People tell what happened now for Nihu. During the genocide, now chapter Antindi, when you have tire and the during the genocide, now of Tandi Wanya, you have tire, all these things happened in this country. And what did Ojuku ask for? Regional government. The same regional government the Yorubas now are pushing for is what Ojuku was asking for. Today, the Yoruba are asking for their own country. There are some set of Yoruba people that are also protesting for secession. They have not seen them. It is not treason. It is not trying to divide the country. But Nnamdi Kanu came out to complain about the injustice against our people since after the war. Do you know that there's a massacre in Asaba? 800 armless people were massacred. This is a war crime. I think it is high time the world investigate the war. The Nigerian Biafran war is not actually a war, it's actually genocide. And I think there is jihad attached to it because 99% of people from Southeast are Christians. So I think our sin is not because we are troublesome, or it's because we are Christians. And for the Muslims, they see us as infidel, good for killing. Now, let me tell you what is happening. There is a set of Yorubas, I call them gangsters, that are also Muslim, led by this President Tinubu. There's also a sect in the north. So let's not make this tribal. Let us identify these people. These sects are the Islamic extremists. Jihad, the whole Nigeria. You know, so these two people came together in 2014. Of course, who else would just touch their satellite on? The Igbos, who are Christians, and the middle belt, who are also Christians. So everything you see today is tilting towards jihad. Now, why did they single Nnamdi Kanu out? You can see they put treason there. Treason is punishable by death. So probably their plan itself is even to kill this young man. Now, in the whole of this, Nnamdi Kanu is the only freedom fighter that have not shedded blood. Asidi Kubo, of course, he was contracted to kill. He boasted. He came out and boasted and said we cannot do nothing. And then Sunday, we know during his own time he killed some military men. And then we've seen these terrorists come out in the north, But what the federal government did is to forgive them, rehabilitate them, and then pour them into the army. You can feel that. Now, recently, when our president Tinubu took over, we've seen him romance the true terrorists and jihadists and all the bandits. But this is an innocent man who have not found to kill anybody, and his group have come out countless times. They are not denying that. In fact, in order to blackmail this group, the federal government contracted the jihadists in the person of Asede Kebo, broke a jail in Imo State, all right? Carry those criminals, of course, they will be of Igbo origin. Hand them over to Asari. After turning them, they established what they call a Bubago. Send these people, they went to the east. Now, they created another group they called Omuoma. That ones, he said they are IPOB. And this is how they massacred our youth. They sacked some villages in the southeast. And today, the federal government of Nigeria will not rest until they either jail Nnamdi Kanu or they kill him, because he is the only man that Igbos have rallied around outside our politicians. These are normal. 95% of Igbos support Nnamdi Kanu. Take it or you leave it. So Igbo, it is time to rise. Whatever the outcome of this case, please, we must remain calm.
Citizen of the foreigner.